Oh, let me make sure my volume is on. I think it is. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. You would think I would be prepared when I turn on this thing, but hey, it's Kimberly Lipstick and Fit, or Kimberly Newzinga Bradley, Miss Lipstick and Fit, your lady lifter of life, your life coach, my life coach. Because I've been coaching a lot of myself lately and actually taking heat, especially with these videos. I said it in yesterday's video. I'm actually going back and watching these videos and I'm listening to them and I'm sitting there in amazement in some of the revelations, because they are truly revelations, and personally I believe they are revelations ordained or granted to me by God's Holy Spirit. And I think a lot of us that tend to be inspirational, or those of us that tend to deposit in a lot of other people, we have that responsibility. Whether I'm on a large platform or not, that is my calling. That is anything that I do. I go into mama mode. I go into coaching mode. And I don't even like the word coaching, but more so mentoring, or a state of wisdom, being able to address matters in a very practical way, from a very multi-dimensional aspect, okay? And it's a spiritual gift of mine. I know I'm good at doing it for everyone else, or for everyone else, but we tend not to be the best advisors of ourselves, knowing damn well what we're not supposed to do. And a lot of times we tend to be reckless. Now, remember, part of my personality, if you've listened to these videos, and just knowing how I do things, I'm very adventurous. I dive in head first. Okay. I have no problem doing that. If someone's like, Kim, we're going to go bungee jumping, or I get that rush. I love adventure. I really do. I like spontaneity. Being a Taurus, we tend to be very grounded people. We like security. But if we're stable in our finances and we're stable in our career, we're stable in most places, we are very adventurous people. Okay. And I love nature. Hence, I'm an earth sign, and we tend to just every aspect of nature. We love it. And with nature come adventure. So with that being stated, we tend to be reckless. And I'm starting to see that in a lot of, in different areas. And in listening to my own videos, and there's been days when I went back and watched the video, and the video actually ministered to me. Literally ministered to me. And so I hope you all are having the same effect. Second, I've actually done about 4 or 5 other videos, right? And some of the days of missing ones. And I was gonna upload them, and I'll be honest, they were so transparent and they were so raw. Like yesterday was a very raw video. And I broke down. I was bawling, I was crying. And now it was a purge. So while I was talking to you all and talking to me, I started to purge. And sometimes these talks can take a turn to shining a light on the darkness that we deal with. And particularly one of the things that I spoke on is in past years, and I did it the other day, but I did it briefly. But yesterday it came out more, of my battle of suicide, dealing, from a very young age. I battled with a spirit of suicide from the age of 4 or 5. Now, it's speculated that the first time I was even sexually molested and abused was possibly between the age of 2 and 4, but I can remember the first time myself being around the age 4 or 5. And sometimes people don't understand the spiritual implications and aspects of what you're dealing with. Some things are generational, some demonic forces, and that's what they are. I cannot sit here and tell you, oh, it's negative energy. No. And excuse my language, but fuck that. It is demonic. And every demon needs a host, wants a host. And I had this personal trainer has to say, pick your poison, so to speak. And sometimes, I don't think we ever really have a choice. Sometimes we do have a choice because we choose to pick up certain demons. But for the most part, they select us, and they can be very persistent depending upon how strong they are. Now, I'm not saying we, you, I are walking around with demons, but I will say this. We have maybe a host of them that will try to infiltrate if we give them room. And I've dealt with this my entire life. Hold on, I'm getting Instagram notifications and everything. It's popping, IG popping. By the way, go follow me on Instagram, Facebook. And yesterday, and I think I'm gonna do at the end, I'm gonna release, because I can't, sometimes I have to be obedient. Something said don't put out the video yet because I don't think I understand it. I don't think I truly grasp what had transpired during that video. And I can only remember snippets of what it was that I spoke, but I do know I spoke in reference of, for the first time in my life, I am happy. And when I say I'm happy, hold on, let me fix that. When I say I'm happy, my feet hurt. My feet have been, it's getting acclimated to standing because now I'm working in my friend's cafe. I've made a complete career change. I am literally working 3-4 different jobs. I'm completing a book that I'm writing. I'm co-hosting on a show that we're now in taping. Okay, it's not on air yet, but we're in taping on that. I drive Uber. Thank God, I've cut down on that big time because it's cool for part-time, maybe 20, 25 hours a week, and that's it. I'm running my company, okay, which is Lipstick and Fit LLC, which is comprised of my life coaching, plus size fitness, and my blogging and meal planning and things of that sort. So there's many constructs to what it is I'm doing. And I haven't even told you all a bunch of other things I'm doing now. I'm getting sponsors, and different people are starting to like reach out to me in far as knowing a lot of future work, especially in regards to running. Okay, and then getting back in training for marathon season, which I've decided to do the Publix marathon again this year and only have about 40 days to train. And I think now it's about 37 days to train. But I believe in miracles, right? And so there's a lot that's going on. I'm not gonna say the other things because there's a lot. So I'm happy. And yesterday I talked about, I feel like I'm on the cusp of having everything but love. And when you've suffered from sexual abuse, and this is the thing, is very hard for some of us, women and men, that have suffered of the hands of, and I had both men and women that sexually molested me. And the thing, how can I say? Getting with someone is half the battle. Then, not knowing how you're going to react, how you're going to act out during sex, having traumatic episodes during sex, I've had those, how the other person is going to view you. You know, we tend to put more pressure on ourselves. Is this person going to view me as tainted, as dirty? I'm not one. I've never been promiscuous, but unfortunately, when I do get someone that I trust and I want to have sex with, I could be kind of high sexed. Well, and that's my natural energy. I am high sexed. My sign, is Venus, the planet of love. You know, I truly channel that energy and embody it, but sometimes it's to my detriment. And that can weigh on us. And at 36, almost, I'm gonna be 37 in May, I don't look like it. That's been my biggest mental battle, I would have to say. I'm coming out of a lot of things. Financially, I'm getting over that hump, you know. Meeting someone's not an issue. Men hollering at me, dating, it's not an issue for me getting that, but me committing to men is an issue. So when I like someone, I dive in head first. And I kind of touched on this yesterday, so I'm not going to go into that. But I'm saying that to say this. For you all that deal with any kind of shame, that deals with, you know, I'm dealing with something right now that I acted out. I did some things recently, not too long ago, that, and I talked about earlier in the videos that I done, that I was just like, who the hell are you, Kimberly? You know? And I've gotten some understanding. I've gotten some clarification. And I'm not as bad as a person as I thought I was. And I was pretty hard on myself. Sometimes we have to understand how our demons may manifest. And then we go forward from that. And regardless of what shame, embarrassments, or regrets you're going through, I'm going to tell you today. Because I kept saying, if only I'd done this, or if only I could just forget. You know, I'm like, God, make me forget. Make me forget. I don't want to remember. I want to forget. But here's the rub. Oftentimes, the things that we cannot forget, the things that we try to displace or place out of our memory bank, are often the things that make us who we are. They make us who we are, but we have to learn to gain control on how we react to the memory and how we utilize the memory. And so I've had to constantly cast down some of my memories in the essence of not saying, okay, I don't remember that, I'm not, because that's what PTSD is. And there's been some things I have blocked out. Some things that I was going through a counseling session one time, this was years back. And the person was taken back and it was like, you have literally, because then and this was a professional, and what happened was the memories started coming up. They started surfacing. Very vivid, clear. And I had suppressed certain things, even to the point where I had, at one point in my youth, had been sodomized. And I had blocked it out. And so sometimes if we don't know what these, I'm sorry, I keep reaching up here because my IG is popping. Sometimes we don't, and the reason why I say professionally, now I'm a life coach. I can't walk you through certain things. I encourage you all, if you find yourself going through some traumatic experiences in this process, that you please seek first a therapist. Okay, I'm not big on medications, and I'm a NAMI advocate, which is National Association Mental Institution, and I'm actually a CIT officer. So I've been over 10 years. I'm trained in dealing with people in any form of state of crisis, whether they're in full psychosis or they're autistic or whatever. I do it all. And what I like about it is, one thing you learn in that area and being an advocate is at any point we can snap and we can be in a crisis state, as we say. We don't say crazy or mental. You can go into a crisis state at any moment. And someone you love. And you have to know how to deal with that. And I think when we learn to talk to people, and this is why we have to be our sister's keeper, and we also got to be careful who we share our information with. We have to purge. We have to release. And it felt so good that even with me being so happy, I was like, I'm so happy, but I'm what is this pain? What is this? And it's like, Kim, you're on the 90 days of God. This is what you've asked for. This is the manifestation that we are asking for, but you have to be ready to, I just told someone, you have to confront the confrontation. You have to confront Goliath is saying it. Goliath is the confrontation, but you have to confront it. You have to confront it. And a lot of times we don't want to. And so like me, we tend to suppress our emotions. We tend to suppress our tears. And as I said before, unresolved matters of the heart tend to lie within the womb. It lies in the womb. Go back to day 2 when I talk about rebirthing. That was a good video. I took a lot of quotes from I told my pastor, I was like, I stole from like your sermon. Resonated on my spirit heavily. So we have to deal with these things. And I don't want you all to think that I'm skipping out on you or anything like that, but just understand I am really processing and I am really going through. But I'm really getting results. And some things we may release and it's just not for the camera. It's just not, it's too vulnerable. And I'm thinking later on with certain people, like now, if you ask for the video, I will make the video private. And if you want to see it, and this is how I know who's listening on these videos. If you want to see it, then I'll give you access to the video, okay? I've already created the Facebook group. Now I gotta do some banner stuff and see how I'm gonna organize the blog as well as the videos in uploading. So remember, the things we try to suppress, the things that are traumatic in our life, the things that we want to try to forget, oftentimes those things make us who we are. I have to remember what part of, I'm a very practical, bold, sensual, loving, warm person. A man told me today, and I always tell y'all, I get a compliment. Men and women compliment me daily. Wherever I go, even on some of my worst days, I get beautiful compliments. And I looked like this today at work, okay? And this man, I guess he could tell I was trying not to smile. Now, if some of y'all may not know, for years I didn't like smiling. I would actually take pictures stone face like this. And I didn't like it because I have big cheeks. I have a big face. As my one of my nicknames growing up was Miss Pie because I have a pie face. It was round. It is round. And my family trait is our big teeth and our big smile. So my face get all big and my chin and all this. And sometimes I can get a little self-conscious about it. And I'm not doing a whole lot of makeup to like contour my face. I'm not doing that because the shit, I don't look like that, right? And almost every day just be like, man, you have the most beautiful smile, or you're just a beautiful woman, or they will literally step back and be like, who are you? Like this air of mystery through my candidness and my ability to smile. But anyways, this guy today, he says, you're holding back your smile. And I just looked at him because I love when someone figures me out. I love it. And I was just like, yeah, he said, but what I realized, I thought he had never seen me before. He had already been watching me. So he had seen my smile before. And he says, you should never hold your smile. He says, let me tell you something. Your smile is so beautiful. He says, it is literally God's gift to you, to the world. Ladies, our smile is God's gift to the world. Smile. And I believe the smile that he sees and the smile that so many other people see, it's not I do have a pretty smile. I have good teeth and things. Except for these buck teeth right here. These rabbit teeth. Hey, take it or leave it, right? But it's our soul. And another lady, I served this lady at the cafe, and I'm good at serving people. I'm the kind of person I like order, and I like neatness. I like feng shui. I like things to just flow, man. And I'm a nurturer, so the gift of serving is in me. I'm good. Like, I'm really good at serving. Like, seriously, like, it's an art to me, and I like it. And the owner, Jay, I had no idea, but one of the ladies, because this is a very who's who cafe. You don't know who you're sitting next to, and I'm talking about big wigs, power people. Okay, you just never know who you're talking to, and whatnot. And it's a very direct, very personable environment. And a lot of people come there and do business meetings and things of that sort. And so she's on the phone with the owner. And I don't realize it too. And I always take care of her. I always, by the time she need her tea, needs some more hot water, I'm bringing it over, hot water, bringing her new tea bags. And she said, Jay, there is a girl here. The girl you just hired, she's like, this woman takes care of me. And she's always, it was her and a couple other people, and they always say, your disposition brings so much life in this establishment. Like, we feel you. And ladies, I don't think that's by happenstance. I know the caliber of my spirit. I'm naturally more of I can be pretty reserved, okay? I'm really branching out, being that I've been out of law enforcement almost a year now. And so now I feel safe in being open. And the more I'm opening, or the more I'm doing this 90 days of goddess, and I'm going through this purge, and I'm dealing with my pride issues and my ego issues, and I'm coming to full understanding of the caliber of my personality, who I am, my soul, the state of my soul and my spirit. Even though I'm seeing a lot of ugliness, because remember, remember one of the first videos I talked about, we're dealing with this debris that's from the separating of the gold and the impure metals, so to speak. The impurities from the metals are surfacing, and it's very little. But understand, honey, all of this right here is your gold. This is your gold, here to here. This is the goddamn impurities. But it's on the top, so it's all we may be seeing going through this process. But understand that the light within you is shining your gold. So don't get caught up in what surfaces. Don't get caught up in what not look like a change, or may not look like what you think you are. But understand who you are. I understand who I am. I understand my self-worth. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done a lot of different things. Like I told y'all, I wasn't a hoe, but I did a lot of hoe shit. Hey, let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't nasty with a whole lot of men, but when I got one, I was real nasty. And sometimes that it can weigh on you, because I should have waited for my husband, or I should have at least been patient enough to evaluate the situation more, so that I can make I don't know, honey. But anyway, but I do know. I know who I am, and I know where I'm going, and I know the fruits of our labor is being paid off quickly. Later on, this is going to be really big. This series is going to be really big. I know this. It's going to be really big. People are going to go back to this. But right now, only a few of you are going to really get this. Not everyone's ready to deal on the level that we're dealing on. They're just not ready. And that's okay, because this type of meat, this type of heaviness is for a far few. The Bible speaks of many are called, but few have chosen. It speaks of a remnant of people. It speaks of those that have itching ears. And sometimes people like to hear a good thing, but as far as putting in the work to reap the benefit, they don't want to do it. Just the fact of you all giving me 25, 30